Hey, everybody. My name is Sharran Srivatsaa. I serve as the president of Real. All that it means is I work for almost all of you. We have several guests on the call today who want to learn about what it's like to be at Real, what it's like to experience the culture, experience the model, experience the platform. So I will tell you that everyone on this call is either at Real or a guest of someone at Real. So if you are a guest of someone at Real, I'm so glad that you're with us. As I go through all of these topics and ideas today, my offer to you is when this call is done, just shoot them a message. Say, hey, I was on the call with Sharran. XYZ was interesting. Can you tell me more about this? If you have any questions, on anything that I talk about today, my gift, my idea, my request to you is whoever invited you to this call, just reach back out to them and say, hey, I was on the call. Thank you for inviting me. Could you walk me through this? Right? That would be really good because several of our friends have invited you and I want to make sure you have a great relationship with them and lean on them so they can give you the idea of everything that's going on at Real. All right. So that's that. So let me take you through a few things. We also have my friends Joe Wogeman and Joel Kirsch on the call. They're actually going to be monitoring the Q&A and the chat. So both the Q&A and the chat are anonymous. And so please feel free that no one's going to know your name, etc. We're here to just help answer questions and support you and help you understand how we think about the world at Real. None of this is going to be a sales pitch. I'm just going to tell you what I'm passionate about, why I'm here, why I love being here, and give you a 3-week presentation in under 40 minutes so I can touch on the high points of all of this. And so it gives you an understanding of Real 101 behind the scenes. All right, so let's kick this off. Before a big part of this for me today is I just want to make sure that you know that this is extremely confidential. No one will know that you were on this call. No one's gonna no one's gonna hammer you with follow-ups. None of that. If you want to rename yourself just to make it easy on yourself, that's fine too. But I want you to know that the only people that can see your chats are our team, just me and Joe and Joel, and no one else. All right, so super excited to do that with you. So here, let's jam because I have a pretty cool stuff to share with you. I want to start with this organizing framework. Every time I think about Real, I talk to agents at Real, I talk to our teams at Real, I talk to our leadership team at Real, and I always think about this. I said, wouldn't it be amazing if we can build a great company together today so that our company can take care of our family tomorrow? My dad always used to say, the future is not written, but it needs to be forged. I love that quote. My dad always said, my future is not written, but it needs to be forged. And to me, that is exactly the ethos of this quote, which is let's build a great company together today so that our company can take care of your family tomorrow. And I'm going to show you how that is infused in every part of what we do overall. All right. The price of admission for today. The price of admission for today is to do this. At the end of this meeting, I'm going to give you a very quick link, which is going to be a 3-question, 10-second survey on what actually connected with you, how I did, what I could have done better. That is the 3-question, 10-second multiple choice survey. So you are committing to me that before you leave, you will do this 3-question, 10-second survey. So if that sounds good and you're committed to that, can you just put a 3 in the chat for a 3-question, 10-second survey so I know you're good? And that'll be price of admission for today. All right. So thank you. A lot of people hitting the 3s in the chat. I appreciate you. Not everyone can see everyone else, and that is by design overall. So I see all your comments, and thank you so much for being here. All right. So let's jump in. You may say, all right, Sharran, how are you going to cover everything? And I'm going to give you the big pieces of the puzzle right now. So here are the big pieces, right? Today, I'm going to cover a few things. First, I'm going to cover why all of this is even important. Like, why is this important? Why is this important right now? And what is the ethos? And what is the bigger vision that drives all of this? I'm going to actually write out the words so you don't think I'm... why is it important? Why is it important right now? And the ethos that drives all of it, right? That's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to talk to you about what all of this means, as in how does the business model work for you? I actually think about the business model almost like a portfolio of various things that you can have in your business. So I want to actually give you the business model so that you can see how this could overlay into your business, and maybe just gives you some ideas on what you can do. You don't even have to come to Real. That's totally cool, right? Third, I'm going to talk about how all of this works, as in how do deals work at Real? How does the tech work at Real? How do the tools work at Real? And how does all of this come to life? And last but not least, I'm going to talk about the future, the North Star, right? The North Star of a lot of us have seen a lot of growth, right? And so call it 2022 and what's coming up in 2023. So a big part of this, I'm going to tell you the big initiatives that are coming up in 2023 overall. So this is our agenda for the day. If there are any Q&A or notes that you have, please put them in the Q&A or in the chat. And my friends Joe and Joel are going to support me and answer the Q&A directly for you. All right. We're probably not going to get into the idea of, hey, what is the difference between Real and Sharran brokerage? What is the difference between Real and EXP or Keller Williams? Like, we don't have time for that today. That's not the idea for this. What I want to give you is a broader vision, the model, and how it can actually help you so that you can get the spark, so you can overlay it into your thinking, and then you can talk to us more if that is of interest to you. All right. I love our other peer brokerages. Everyone, I think a choice of a brokerage is very bio-individual, but I want you to see how we think about the world to see if it's in alignment with you. I have friends telling me that my handwriting has gotten better over the years, and I so appreciate that. All right. So this is our game plan for today. So if all of this sounds good, I don't even need you to do anything in the chat, just for my benefit. Just like nod your head or something so you can get a little exercise while I'm doing this. All right. So let's jam. Now, as we've set the stage, you may be thinking, hey, this is the first time I'm seeing you. Who are you? Why should I even listen to you? What's going on? So give you a 5-second background. My name is Sharran. I serve as the president of Real. I've had some amazing experiences over the years. I had a chance to build a technology company first, and we got to sell that. I've had 5 exits in the last 19 years. And it's been extremely exciting and humbling over the time. So I've built and sold technology company. I was actually at 4 Seasons and Ritz-Carlton in the Caribbean and in Dubai and on Maui. So I've been actually working in the hospitality world. That's when I realized that how we take care of people is what is so important. I was an investment banker at Goldman Sachs and Credit Suisse on Wall Street. I spent the last 5 years in venture capital and private equity, investing in both companies and multifamily complexes around the country. We currently have bought 1,000 doors a year for the last 5 years. So we own over 5,000 doors, mainly in the Southeast. So if you're in the investment world in some way, I will tell you I'm a geek on that, because I've been on the ground buying and selling stuff. So I'm in the transaction with you. But most importantly, we built a real estate brokerage called Tellus Properties. We grew it 10x in 5 years, and we're excited to sell it to Douglas Elliman. And I love the craft of real estate. I was in a listing appointment on Sunday for an $11 million listing with one of our agents. I don't sell, but I was there in support of them. So when it comes to lead generation, lead conversion, what is a script? What is a CRM to use? How do you actually stack your presentation? What do you do day to day? How do you manage cash flow? I love that component of it, which is why I'm here, and which is why I'm excited to share all of this with you. So this is my background, and hopefully one of those connects with you, and we can talk more about that at some point. So let's I'm going to try to play a short video for you. This is the real story. It's about a 2-minute clip. I think it'll set the stage really well. And I really hope the audio comes through. If it doesn't come through, say something in the chat, say no audio in the chat. But if it comes through, it will be great. So let me try to hit and play.
2014, a group of real estate professionals and tech experts were looking for a way to improve the real estate transaction process for agents. Together, they founded the Real Brokerage with a single dream: in just a few short years, Real has rapidly expanded throughout the U.S. and Canada. And the keys to company success can be traced back to three things: our commitment to helping agents build wealth, our industry-leading technology, our collaborative community.
So to be a part of this company and have an equity position, to have true ownership, is amazing.
When they told me the model, how you can earn revenue share, how you can gain equity in the company, you can become part owner, and then also the split compared to where I was before, it was a no-brainer. It was super easy. I moved my whole team over.
For me, it's redefined the back-end agent experience. From start to finish, you get clarity in process, you're able to track your deals in real time, you can communicate with your deal department and brokers all in one place so that it follows a systematic process and that you get paid on time. It's simple, it's easy to use, it looks good, you get all your reports, and it's a lot of fun to use.
We also just have an amazing community where people feel connected, and we're all ready to build this awesome business together.
Even though Real has come so far, the journey is just beginning. We are so excited for our future together.
I like that video a lot because it's my partner Tamir, our founder and CEO, actually launched our conference with that last year, and it was a really great story of where it started and where we are today. And that is what I want to just start with for 1 second. Let me ask you this one question: if you were to start a real estate company today, would you do it based on what you've known in the past? Would you actually the first thing would you go find office space? Would you go get a CRM system? Would you go actually get a TC? Would you go get a sign on the door? Would you try to go find a name and a domain? What would you do? You would run the business differently today than you did 20, 30 years ago. And I think that's what I want to showcase to you is every time we build something, we ask the question is, if we were to, knowing what we know from a knowledge perspective, if we were to build something, how would we build it today? And that's super important. And the one thing that we all share is one of the things that we all need is camaraderie and a nationwide community. And we've built a 45 state and multiple province network in Canada in under 2.5 years. And that will get to 50 in all provinces very, very soon. So super excited to have a community like this. Additionally, I want to quickly tell you that we are currently in 45 states. And the only states that we're not yet in at are West Virginia, Delaware, coming soon, by the way, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Vermont. Now, it just so happens the reason how we actually launch in all of the states is not just Sharran has an idea and he's going to Oregon. No, we find great partners in the states that we launch in, and that's how we launch these states. And now we have several partners that are coming on board to launch in all of these states. So that's pretty cool. We, in the last 2.5 years, we have grown to 9,000 plus agents on track to hitting 10,000. We are, from an agent count perspective and an agent growth perspective, the fastest growing publicly traded real estate brokerage in the world, and that's pretty cool overall. We are publicly listed on both the Toronto Stock Exchange and NASDAQ under REAX. So welcome to check that out as well. So based on all of that, I want to show you this kind of broad one thing, which is what is the ethos overall? What is the ethos overall? And the ethos overall for us is, how can we see you, the agent, as a client, because we're providing services and a platform, I can't write today, for you to succeed, right? So you can actually grow and build a great business, but you're also our partner. And people will always say, oh yeah, our agents are our partners. Well, agents are partners, but how are you our partner? Right? You're a partner because you help us grow. And as the business grows, we get to grow with you. So this is in the form of when our actual stock, where we actually provide stock awards. So you're actually participating in the growth with us. You're participating in revenue share, because as we get revenues, we share them with you. And that's really important. But the last but not least is, unless there's performance, we can't really be partners or collaborate in any way. So we are a production-based company, right? We're a production-based company. And I think about this a lot because we as Real have to help you both as a client and a partner. And that's how all this entire presentation is structured. So let's actually break down the puzzle. I'm going to talk to you about 3 things today, 3 things that will help you understand what it means to be at Real. Here's the first thing, which is culture. Everyone talks about culture. Like, I want to bring culture to life for you, right? There is one organizing thesis for us, and we call that the idea of One Real. And the idea of One Real is not just a product idea, and I'll talk to you about it in a second, but it's an underlying ethos for us, which is it would make no sense for you to join a nationwide company, find an office somewhere in the remote corner in Laguna Beach, California, because that's where I live and that's where you live, and then be completely disconnected from every other part of the business. There are companies where you join a particular, they call it downline, right? And then if you're not part of that downline, you can't talk to anybody else anywhere else in the company because only the economic benefit comes to that downline. Or you join because of a manager and the manager is there, but then the manager leaves and then you're left hanging. The idea of One Real is that the size of the network and the camaraderie and the collaboration of everybody has to be built into the ethos of how we do everything. And for that is governed by an internal code of conduct, that you can't have sleazy attraction, internal code of conduct that if Sharran calls you support, an internal code of conduct that whatever content you produce is available to everybody at the company, an internal code of conduct that we believe that we are all better together than siloed separately. One Real is the ethos that drives every single one of us. And that is at the very heart of what we do, right? And you may say, well, how does that come to life? It first comes to life with our leadership. And I see our leadership, including my role, to be in service of you. If you ever hear me say, hey, my name is Sharran Srivatsaa, I serve as the president of Real, right? My job is to be here in service of you. This listing appointment that I went on last Sunday, I got a text message from an agent who I had never met before, who said, hey, Sharran, I have this listing appointment. It can somewhere in the $7 to $10 million range in Laguna. Would you go with me? Well, I don't get any economics from it apart from a chance of supporting the agent. There's no 7 layers of anything. It is our chance to be there together in the trenches to support you. And that's across our entire leadership team. But third is having a support system is what really brings any culture to life. The reason we feel good about culture, the reason we feel good about any kind of culture is this one thing, right? Is when we have an amazing support system. So what does that support system mean? What does that support system mean? And I think that support system has 3 parts to the puzzle. The first part about that support system is what we call a sponsor. A sponsor in our world is a real agent who invites you to Real, who says, hey, Sharran, come join us. I want to support you to build and grow your business. And not only am I going to show you everything that I've learned at Real, not only going to show you, connect you with all the connections I've made around North America, not only am I going to show you the tips, tricks, tools, etc., I'm going to help you be more successful because I've built a network and I'm here to support you. Second, there is a really well-connected broker network. Most agents live in their office in Newport Beach, and they have a good idea about their office in Newport Beach. They walk around the corner and talk to their manager, and if their manager is not available, everything starts to break. Our brokers have a nationwide broker network, and our brokers are the CEO of their states. We all work for our brokers in their states based on DRE law. And the cool part about that is the brokers also are an insane support system for you. And you don't have to have 400 emails to them just because that is how you used to 12 years ago running a transaction. You're like, check my email, check my email, check my email, right? The brokers being there for you and bringing it to life is a completely different experience. And I'm going to show you how that works at Real. And last but not least, the community, where I'll tell you more about this, where every single person, you can reach out to any Real agent anywhere in the country. You can collaborate both economically and culturally to do an event or share economics or co-sponsor people, all with people around the country. And that goes to the heart of the idea of One Real. Every time we try to build culture, especially culture in the cloud, it's really, really powerful. So culture is what drives what we do, and culture is something that an agent in Newport Beach cannot build on their own, and we want to give everyone the gift of great culture overall. So that's culture. Let me show you 3 things associated with that I want to run through. Number 1, in what we call our Real Academy, who Joe Wogerman runs right now, every single class, every single training, every single thing that we do is not limited to your downline, or it's not limited to the office you're in. Everything that we do is available to everybody else. That is the power of One Real. That is power of culture. And culture cannot exist without an actual code of conduct. So there is a very short agent written code of conduct. Sharran and Tamir didn't make it up. Agents drove and wrote that code of conduct, which is super powerful, which drives what we call servant attraction. You will never see a real agent, sleazily trying to send calls, texts, emails, text messages, trying to recruit people, because that's not what we want to do. We want to be a servant attractor, to show people, why being here could be a vehicle for how they actually build a bigger and better future for themselves. You have your leadership as partners. We are partners. The better we perform, the more we do, the bigger we win. And that allows us to completely break down silos. So it's not like you being in an office or you being in a downline and disconnected from everyone else. You get to be a part of One Real. And that's where this is everything. Hey, in fact, I got to show you something. Hold on. You'll like this a lot. Sorry. My team and a couple of agents actually built me these custom Real shoes. Cool sneakers with the logo, Jordans, of course, and hashtag One Real. I thought you'd appreciate that. All right, cool. You like those shoes, don't you? Those are super fun. All right. Now you're like, all right, Sharran, that's cool. I appreciate all of that. That's fun. Let's get down to like brass tacks. Tell me about how money works. Tell me about how the model works. Tell me about how all of that works. So let's get into the model. I'm going to give you a super high level. This, if you are not paying attention, this would be the next 5 minutes would be a good time, because I want to take you through how money works, how the model works, how the structure works, so that you can connect in with all of it. All right. When I think about the business model at Real, there are 3 big pieces to the puzzle. The pieces are build, grow, and legacy. And here's what I mean. Build is a chance for you to say, how do I actually build my team so I can drive more revenues? Grow is, how do we actually grow the business together so that as the business grows, we all win together? So just, you are here today, and let's say Real grows in its revenues, in its stock price, in its agent count, and in its recognition around the country. And you've been with Real over time. You get to feel and experience and benefit economically from the growth, which is really powerful. And legacy is an amazing component, which is, I will tell you, our time is not promised, only because we live in a no exit business. We live in a no exit business. I actually, one of my really good friends, his name is Scott, here in Orange County. Scott's been, a personal agent of representing me and my family for like 10 years. About 3 years ago, Scott was in a listing appointment. He was 64 years old. He was in a listing appointment. He had a heart attack in his listing appointment, and the next day he passed away. Right? He didn't have a legacy because it had a no exit business. There was not a pension waiting for him. And I think for us, creating a legacy component to all the work that we do is really important. So now let me actually take you through all the components of build, grow, and legacy right now, and put numbers associated with each of them for you. All right. So how do you build your business with Real? So let me give you some numbers. I put all this other stuff on the slide for only one reason, not for you to read it, but when I'm done with the presentation and whoever invited you to the presentation gives you the slides, you will have all the other details associated with it. All right. So from a slide design perspective, I should have put 3 things on the slide, but I left other things on here just to give you more information when you do get the slides. So when it comes to broad economics, number 1, there are no monthly fees. because we are a production-based company. Second, we have a 85-15 split on a per deal basis, and that caps at a 12K annual cap. For those of you who are not familiar with the cap, all it means is that as soon as you've paid in $12,000 worth of company dollar, as in 85-15, that 15 split when it accumulates to 12,000 in company dollar, what happens is that you will go to 100% split, and there's no more monies due to real in your split. So you go to 100% split as soon as you hit the 12,000 annual cap. All right. So that's all you need to a very high level. You can look at all of this when you do get the slides, but at a very high level, that's the big part. Now you may be saying, Sharran, I know that works for this is for every single agent individually joining Real. Right? It doesn't matter who it is or what it is. That's the split. By the way, we don't do special deals. We don't do any of that. Everybody's on the same program, so it makes it easy, and that's how our system works. But then, how does it work with teams? So let me talk about teams for a second. It's the same 85-15 split. There are no monthly fees for you or your team member because we are a production-based company. But the cool part is to help the team member benefit, the team leader is on a 12K cap, but the team member has the option of being on a 6K cap, right? You have to be a part of the team so that the team member can benefit from the 6K cap. Why do we do this? Multiple reasons. Reason number one, when you bring a team member on your team, now they have an economic incentive. You can say, hey, Sharran, the team leader, is taking the 12K cap. You, Jimmy, being on my team, now get to have the 6K cap. And so that allows them to cap faster. It allows them to hit their goal faster. It allows them to make money sooner. It allows them to see the benefit of being with you in a significantly more accelerated way. And that's powerful. Number two, many of our agents are on teams. And if you have a team model where you are saying, hey, I'm helping you with leads, etc., and there's a team split, well, you don't want the brokerage split to be so big and then the team split to then happen. And then their agent then realizes that they don't take that much money home. And because of that, they get disillusioned, they get disappointed, they get depressed, and they either leave the business, even though they are highly capable. So we want to get people up and running much faster and give you as the team leader or as the team member the benefit overall to run a great team program. This way, when the team member is on a lower cap, you get to have team economics that benefit everybody overall. So not only is it a great idea for individual agents, but it's also very beneficial from a team perspective. If you're in the Zillow Flex program, or you do Relo, or you do online lead generation, and you have other lead gen services, the team member cap being lower allows you to scale your team in a much more efficient way. All right. So other good things associated with this, but wanted to give you that as a high level. Cool. Now, once you have all of those, you're like, Sharran, you talked about growing with Real, you talked about stock. How does all of that actually work? That stuff is not my jam. So let me take you through it overall. The first part of this is if you've ever worked at a corporation, if you work at Google, for example, one of the great benefits of working at Google is Google allows you something called a employee stock purchase plan. What they do is they allow you to take a designated portion of your monthly paycheck, right? And put it towards buying Google stock. And what Google will do is not only you get to buy Google stock, they'll get to bonus you some of the stock in some way. And we thought, how amazing would it be to bring that to agents to help them grow with us? So several of our agents and team leaders, before they cap, can put up to 5% of their commissions and have that paid out in stock. And here's the best part. Not only do you do that, if you do that, Real's actually giving you an incentive, which is the incentive is that Real gives you a 15% bonus on it. There's two ways that you can think about this. Way number one, think about the bonus as a hedge or a downside protection. So you may say, well, what if I buy the stock and the stock goes down? Well, let's give you a bonus component as a hedge associated with that. And the second is just the fact that you're doing this is our way of saying, hey, we're partners. We want to give you more on this so that we can find a way to grow together, which is really cool. I will tell you, this is a no-brainer for most agents to do, and most agents take advantage of this at Real. Additionally, after you cap, you can put up to 10% of your commissions paid out in stock, and we give you close to 30% of that back in an additional bonus. This is free money if you think about it, right? And it's our way of shaking hands together and saying we are in this growth together overall. Cool. Let's talk about this capping and attracting awards that happen in shares. So let me tell you about how this works briefly. Just for capping, which means that as soon as you've done enough business where the 85-15 is done and you get 100% split, that means $12,000 have been paid towards the cap, or $6,000 for a team member. We thank you for that, because you're not only doing that, you're doing your job, but you're also growing the company from its revenue perspective. So we give you a capping award. We say, Sharran, you capped. Great job. You hit a $12,000 cap. We want to give you shares for capping, because now as we grow, the business grows, you grow with us as well, which is super powerful. So this 12K cap gets, a bunch of shares, and the 6K cap for the team members gets half those shares. That's all this is. And it's a really, really powerful thing. Additionally, and I'll talk about attraction in a second, where if Sharran brings Mark on board as the agent, Mark then closes a deal, and then Sharran is like, man, I brought Mark on board. Mark's enabling the growth of this business, and we recognize that at Real, and we say, Sharran, thank you for bringing Mark on board. You're part of our growth. We want to give you shares for attracting Mark to the company. So capping and attracting awards are a big part of how we work. These are both one-time awards. So every time you cap in that anniversary year, you get an award. But every time you bring an agent on, as soon as they close a deal, you get the first attracting award. That's how that works. Okay. This is probably, give me like a little bit of attention if you don't mind. This may look like a complex slide, but it has a lot of impact built into it. So I'd love to share it with you. So we call this the Elite Agent Stock Award. And this is probably our most sought after award overall. So this is how it works. To be eligible for the Elite Agent Stock Award, two things have to happen. You have to first cap as a 12K cap. Right. And then after you cap, you go to 100% split. So you don't pay any more in split dollars, but there is a post-cap transaction fee. I think it's $285. I can't remember, right? Something like that. Right. And so based on that, you get, if you pay $6,000 in post-cap fees, you are now eligible for the Elite Agent Award. And what that means is, as soon as you've done that, you get $16,000 in stock gifted to you, awarded to you. That is our way of saying, not only did you hit your cap, you also paid some money in fees. Thank you so much for helping our business grow. Here's a performance award of $16,000, right? Which is amazing. You almost get almost all the money paid back to Real. You get it back in stock in that same year. So net, you're like, you get to work for free and you get to keep all of your monies, which is amazing. The reason we have the GCI greater than 500K is several of our agents are in luxury markets and they're probably not going to do as many deals. So we want to make sure that folks that have higher GCIs based on higher sales prices, they get access to this too. But here is my favorite thing. You can either teach monthly or give back. And let me talk about that. We call this our culture award. Inside of Real Academy, when Sharran shows up and says, you know what, I want to do a monthly series on how to generate leads for free, and you teach to the community, the entire One Real community, and you do it on a monthly basis, it actually has to be pre-approved by our director of education so that you get an actual time slot, you're on the calendar, you have a curriculum, and you teach so that you can teach well so that people can benefit from it. You do that and you teach monthly, you're eligible for the Culture Award. Additionally, if you are into philanthropy and you want to give back to your local community, not just doing a toy drive once a year at Christmas, maybe you give away a portion of your commissions on every check. Maybe you volunteer at a local hospital and you give back. It also has to be pre-approved. But since we are a North America-based company and we're not in physical locations everywhere in the country, we love and appreciate our agents giving back to their communities, and we want to thank them and appreciate them and support them for it. And giving back also helps us give people another $8,000 culture award just for doing what you already do. We love this component because this is our way of saying, hey, in every small way, can we show you how we're partners so that we can collaborate and work together? All right. I'm going to go into this math very quickly, and it'll take 10 seconds as I go through this elite award. This elite award is $12,000 paid in company dollar. And by the way, at Real, we talk about money and math with everybody, and I'll tell you why. The culture of transparency of money is really good because there are no special deals and everyone works on the same thing. So it's very easy for us to talk about money and math because we know that when we talk about money, we have good rapport and good relationship, and we can do good things together. So when you do a 12,000 cap and 6,000 in fees, you are now eligible for elite. But here's the cool part about that. As soon as you do the 12K cap, you get a capping award, which is 250 shares. Awesome. You then get the elite award when you do this. This is $16,000 worth of stock. So not just shares, it's $16,000 worth of stock. When you teach or give back, you get another $8,000 worth of stock. And all in this time, you have $0 paid in split because you're at 100% right now. This is not including you getting a 15 or 30% bonus in your stock purchase. This is not including your 125 shares attraction award for bringing Mark onto the company. And this is not including, I'll talk about revenue share, any revenue share that you would make overall. Just by hitting elite and being a great agent, this is our way of saying thank you and to support you overall, right? Just wanted you to see that. Before I go into legacy with Real, can I just get a G? Just put a G in the chat, meaning Sharran, you're good. Keep going. I'm digging this. Put a G in the chat. That way I know that everything's working, everything's going fine. All right, cool. GGGs. I love that. I love that triple G. I should take a picture of this. It's all it says is you know what you should do? One of you should say you're a G, and that would be really cool. I'll take a picture and send it to my son, and that'd be a fun thing to do. All right, cool. Thank you. I got a couple of you're a Gs. That's fun. All right, let me talk about legacy with Real. I think this will be good overall. So legacy with Real for us is revenue share. And I want to break down revenue share for you because it has a negative connotation overall. And I want to show you how this is grounded in math. Revenue share is just math, a math that someone has not explained to you. So let me run you through it really quick. Revenue share is a share in company's revenue, not in the agent's revenue. So let's assume that you had a $10,000 GCI. Right? And that $10,000, say you've not capped, say it's your first deal at Real, the 85, it's 85.15, right? So the 85% goes to you. So you got $8,500 that goes to you, the agent. And out of this $1,500, this splits in two ways. Way number one and way number two. The split is, there's a split that goes to Real, and there's a split that goes back in revenue share. This is Real's share of the company dollar. We're not touching the agent's share, right? And with this portion, Real has to run ops, Real has to build technology, Real has to build brand, Real has to do everything that it needs to do to run a big business. And this list is never ending. But we pay out close to 50 to 60% of this $1,500 of our company dollar back in revenue share. That is our way of saying we are true partners because we're using our share in company's revenue to share it back with you. All right. That's why I want to make sure you understand that this is grounded in math. Let me give you the second component of it. We are a production-based business model. So if you saw the 10K goes to the 8.5K, and the 8.5K goes to the 1.5K. Well, let's say there was no 10K and nobody sold anything, which means that there's no money to actually give out, which means revenue share is zero. Only if there is a revenue to be shared, revenue shared, because we don't do monthly fees. We are a production-based company, and the only time all of the dollars kick in, both in revenue share and fees and all of that, is when production happens. Okay. Last but not least, we want to make sure that we're rewarding growth while fostering culture, which means that the company grows, which is good. Plus, you got to have great culture. What does that mean? It means that if Sharran is so excited and brings on Mark and brings on Sheila, the only reason that Sharran is sponsoring Mark and Sheila and Mark are coming on is because Sheila and Mark love Sharran. They're not coming out, if Sheila and Mark are not coming to Real if they don't like Sharran, right? But then all of these networks happen around the world, around the country, and now you have this really great network overall where people not just love each other and are bringing people together, but they're also growing together. We want to find a way to reward growth while fostering culture. All right. So to make this real for you, I pulled a live example of revenue share. And this is somebody that has been at Real. This is actual revenue share. Someone has been at Real under 18 months, with no brand and no network. All right. This person is roughly making, I'm going to make this the roughly, is roughly making $93,000 a month in revenue share. $93,000 a month in passive revenue share, right? I want to show you what is possible here. This person came on board in under 18 months at Real with no brand or no network, has done this. Yes, and at the same time runs $100 million team. So think about that for a second, right? So wanted to make sure you saw the power of all of this. So I'm going to fly through and explain this very quickly. How this works is there's one big component of this, and whoever you're bringing, your friend is at Real can explain all of this to you. It said, I'm not going to go deep into this, but I'm going to give you a live example to show you. As you build a network at Real, we take a portion of the company dollar and give it back to you in revenue share. And we call it tier one. So you get 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, and 1%. And you're like, Sharran, I don't not understand what this means. So let me actually show you. So let's say in the same example, there was this $8,500 that Mark the agent got. Now there is, so in this case, Fiona closed a deal. She got $8,500, right? Which is great. But this company dollar portion, there's $1,500 to Real. That is the amount, that the max amount that we have available to share in revenue share, right? So that's how. So for example, the 5% would be $500. The 4% would be $400, $300, $200, and $100, all totaling to $1,500, right? So that's how that works. So if in this case, Elaine sponsors Fiona, Dorothy sponsors Elaine, and that's how this works. Now, do not let this confuse you. Don't let this bother you in any way. Once you are ready and you want to talk to your friend at Real, they'll draw it all out for you. So let me explain in this. We are a production-based company. Therefore, for you to benefit from revenue share, you have to produce. And the production standard is not wild. It is you have to do at least one deal that results in $450 a company dollar every 6 months. Essentially, that's nothing. That's not even a lease. So yes, you can run a team or not be in production or do whatever. Or if you're a team-based and you get a team-based allocation of the company dollar that or the commissions, that's fine. We just want to make sure everybody understands that we're a production-based company, and the only way you can achieve and get revenue share is that everyone is producing. There are lots of nuances to this, so please talk to your friend that introduced you to Real, and they can walk you through it. It's not complex. You just have to understand it once. All right. So here are the 8 ways to make money at Real that I went through in my build, grow, legacy model. Number 1, you've got a very transparent commission split with a cap, right? So it's capped at 12K or 6K. Number 2, there's a pre-cap bonus of your purchase plan, so you can get up to 15% in bonus. Number 3, you get a stock award for capping just by doing what you do, just by winning in your own way. You get that. Number 4, post capping, if you still want to contribute and earn more shares, you can get a bonus for that. Number 5, when you hit elite, we give you $16,000 of stock as soon as you hit elite. Number 6, if you want a cultural award, either for teaching or giving back, we give you another $8,000 for being a part of the One Real community and sharing and growing into that. Number 7, just so you attract and you help the business grow, we give you shares for that because now you're partners in our growth. And number 8, talked about revenue share. This is your exit strategy, if you or a supplemental income strategy in a lot of ways, where you can now find a way to build and grow to make all of this happen. I'm going to show you a 9th way to make money at Real at some point in the next 6 minutes. So hang with me. All right. I'm going to keep going back to this one thing. How can we build a great company together today so that our company can take care of your family tomorrow? Right. And I'll give you exactly what taking care of your family tomorrow exactly means. And this goes to the last part is the platform. Whenever I think about the platform, I think about three things. I think about tech, I think about tools, and I think about training. Right? You may say, all right, Sharran, tech, tools, and training, what's very cool. I want to take you through the tech component of it in a second and show you how this works. Our tech is, we built it from the ground up, and it's really powerful because it is built around the product idea of One Reel. And the product idea of One Reel is the agent at the center, where the transaction happens, the brokerage layer does its job, the title layer does its job, the mortgage layer does its job, all to the benefit of the consumer, putting the agent in the middle of the transaction. For that to happen, the transaction platform needs to be built first. What a lot of companies will do, it's totally fine. They will go build a marketing platform first to make it look slick for you. But you can go get Canva for $4 if you wanted to do that, right? And so I want to give you a quick sneak peek into our Rezen, which is our app. But this is a great quote that our CTO Pritesh always says. He's like, innovation is not an opportunity, it is our responsibility. And one thing that I want to share with you from the app is like, just very practically speaking, if you work with your current broker right now and you go back and forth on your file, hey, I need the CDA, hey, I need this, hey, did you not sign this document? You missed a signature here. Hey, this doesn't have this disclosure, this doesn't have that disclosure. By the time, and if you have 3 transactions going at the same time, literally you have 97 emails in your inbox and you haven't gotten through all of it while you're during a listing appointment. Having all of that in the app where you can see everything in line and all of it is tracked and all of the efficiency around it is built, you can run your entire business, everything in line from your app because it knows where each one's missing in our pizza tracker, right? Small things like that. Again, that is why I am in this call with you, because I understand how you work day to day as an agent, not for any other reason, because we want to make your lives better, right? So innovation is not an opportunity. I think it's our responsibility. And this was a great quote that someone inside our Facebook group said, I could totally see the possibilities here and I knew if you would figure it out, right? That's so cool. This person had been here 18 months and believed that innovation is not just an opportunity, but it is our responsibility. Want to quickly talk about the real mastermind effect very quickly. So we have close to 700 to 800 live classes that are being held on a quarterly basis, tons of on-demand stuff, but every single class is available to everybody. So if just because you join with Sharran or with Joel or with Mark or with Jenny, that doesn't mean you're limited to that little downline worth of stuff. How sad is that? That's just sad, economically speaking. You're doing all the work, but you want your company to do better. Why don't you open it up to everybody? Because that's where the One Real component comes in. So I gave you a lot of these pieces. I just want in the chat, which one connected with you the most? Just put a 1 for culture, 2 for model, or 3 for platform. Which one connected with you the most? Put a 1, 2, or 3 in the chat for me, just so I can see which one connected with you the most. I see a lot of 1s and 3s, a lot of 1s and 3s, a lot of 1s and 3s. Keep going. I feel like an auctioneer here. 1s, 3s, 1s, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1. This is great. 2s and 3s, a lot of 2s and 3s. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. 3 and 1. Cool. So I want to hit this last part. I'm going to give you 2 minutes with this. How do you actually combine growth concept called host-sponsored revenue share? And I'm super excited to kind of break it down. Office in Beverly Hills, and then you'd say, oh, I'm going for Sharran the manager, and Sharran the manager leaves, and then you're sad. It's where you have a great mentor, and then Sharran comes in under the mentor. That's, you get one support system. What if you had 2 mentors at Real? Now, both of them could now sponsor you. That gets, so maybe Mark comes in on that sponsorship, right? That. So now 2 people sponsor Mark, and now Mark has access to 2 support systems. This is where it gets even more fun. Now Sharran and Mark become friends, and they on Paula. Now Paula has all the support systems available to her. And we call this the multiplying of the support system, which really goes to the idea of One Real. We want it to be one big network that connects everybody overall. So I'm going to very quickly explain this. You say there's 2 disjointed trees, right? That's what happens in a lot of organizations. No one on Gary's tree talks to anyone on Amber's tree, and that's really, really, really sad. But what if were Lucy to come on, what if Fiona and Kevin sponsored Lucy? Well, what happens in this case is who gets paid? Sure. Elaine and Jack get the first level of revenue share. Dorothy and Ian get the second level of revenue share. Claire and Harold get the third level of revenue share. Amber and whoever's up top get the 5th level of revenue share. Now you're actually bringing together 2 networks to support you. That would have never occurred anywhere else, right? So before I finish, I want to give you just these things. I'm going to drop a survey in the chat. And I'll share one more thing with you. Here's my survey really quick. Could you do me a favor? You promised me you would do a 3-question, 10-second survey. And all I'm asking for is just you click on that puppy, put your name in, do the survey. And as soon as you're done, can you just put a done in the chat? That way I know you're done. That will help me a lot. I am right on time. I have another 12 seconds worth of stuff to share with you. We'll stick around for a few minutes if you have questions, etc. But 12 seconds. If you can just do that, I actually have a gift for someone who's done first. So as soon as you do this, do a 10-second survey and tell me you're done. And I'd appreciate it super, super much. All right. So, people ask for it again. Let me put the 3rd link in there. 3rd link in there so you can see it. Of course, we got so many people that are done. Thank you. Mark, you're first, buddy. Mark, if you can message me on Instagram saying you're done, I got a cool gift for you. I would appreciate that. If whoever invited you, go ahead and reach out to them, and or if you have not been connected with somebody yet, just reach out to me and I'll help connect you with somebody. That's totally cool as well. All right, super good. Awesome. So please do the 3-question, 10-second survey for me. I have one more thing to share with you. You're like, hey, Sharran, what's coming up in 2023? I want to give you this one idea, which is this concept of willable revenue share. Let's say, for example, Crystal is making $20,000 a month in revenue share with us, and it's happening every single month. Well, what if something unfortunate were to happen to Crystal? Now that revenue share is instantly paid to Crystal's family and her heirs. Think about that. As long as that revenue share exists, we continue to pay that over time to Crystal's family and her revenue share, which is why I talk about help us build a great company today so the company can take care of your family for the years to come. The concept of billable revenue share gives you, the agent, a chance to not just exit your business, but to actually buy cash flow insurance for your family that you would have never been able to do any other way. You don't have to go buy 97 investment properties. As you help us build a company today, our company will help take care of your family tomorrow. Global revenue share is ultra powerful. We're also launching Title JV, where working with Real Title is our 9th stream of revenue. You can buy in for, I think it's $100 in a few states. And then once you do, you automatically are a member of the Title JV, and then you start getting title payouts overall. We are actually even launching our first edition of our consumer app this year, because the more we can be dialed into the consumer, the better we can be connected to you to give you more opportunities. We're actually even launching Real Signature, which is our version of DocuSign, only to make everything seamlessly integrated inside the app. It's a huge lift, and we do it for one reason, so that all the stuff we automatically do is seamless for you and you don't have another cost associated with it. Later this year, we're working on launching benefits, as in healthcare, vision, dental, for everybody that's available. We're using our ability to go do a group buy of all of it so that our agents can benefit with that. And co-sponsored revenue share is also live right now. These are the things that we're launching in 2023. I gave you the 3-question, 10-second survey. I just want to leave you with this. It is our goal to build a great company together today so that our company can take care of your family tomorrow. All right. I'm super excited and grateful that you all chose to spend time with us. Whoever introduced you to Real, please connect with them and say, hey, I was on Sharran's presentation. I have a couple of questions. Do that. If you are not connected with someone, just reach out to me and I will help you get connected with someone at Real. I appreciate you all so much. We'll stick around for another minute. If you were on this call, we'll make sure we get you replay materials and all of those things. But I can't thank you enough for being here with us. Hopefully this was fun, entertaining, somewhat informative. And this is a chance for us to have a relationship, whether you come to Real or not. Hopefully this gave you some ideas. I appreciate you so much. My name is Sharran. Shoot me a message on Instagram or whatever if I can be helpful. And thank you so much for being with us. All right. Have a great one. Talk to you all soon.